The Bright Green Leaf, story and pictures by Caleb Miller. Far away on an old farm up north, a maple tree stood on the top of a little hill. Now, this was a very fine tree. Its branches reached out far above the ground. Its shade provided rest for all who came under it. Many birds had hatched and learned to fly in its safety. There couldn't have been a better tree in the whole country. Every year after a long, cold winter, the tree grew a fine set of fresh green leaves. One year, a bright new leaf began to grow on one of the tree's greatest branches. This leaf grew much more quickly than some of the other leaves on the tree. Each of its 5 points was perfectly shaped, and there was not a single spot on its beautiful green color. Now, this leaf began to look down on all of the other leaves. They were so boring and ugly compared to him. He tried to be nice most of the time, but it wasn't always easy. Maybe if he were a good example, they would learn a thing or two from him. The bright green leaf liked to talk to others who came to the tree. One day, a rabbit hopped underneath the shade of the tree for a moment. "Little rabbit, look at me!" exclaimed the leaf. "See how bright my color is?" The rabbit looked up in awe. "My, you are the brightest green leaf I have ever seen," she said. The next day, a horse came walking under the tree to rest after a long day of work. "Mr. Horse," called out the leaf, "look at me. See how much shade I cast." The horse looked up and said, "Yes, indeed. You must be a very fine leaf." The day after that, an old eagle landed on a branch near the leaf. "Oh, eagle," called out the leaf, "don't you think I'm the best leaf you've ever seen?" The eagle didn't reply. This bothered the leaf at first, but he soon forgot and time moved on. Spring turned to summer, and summer turned to fall, the most glorious season for all leaves. The bright green leaf was one of the first to change color. First, he turned to a happy shade of yellow, then a flaming orange that was almost too bright to look at, and finally, a deep shade of red. The leaf was very proud of his colors. Surely no leaf had ever rivaled his beautiful glow. Then, something terrible happened. He turned a dull shade of brown, and the next day he fell right off the tree in a gust of wind. The leaf couldn't bear his misfortune. "How could this have happened?" he sobbed as the wind blew him in circles around the farm. After a thoroughly terrible ride through the air, he came to rest for a moment near the rabbit's hole. "Oh, little rabbit," he cried, "look what has happened to me." The rabbit grew wide-eyed to see the once bright leaf from the tree. "Oh dear," she exclaimed, "how unfortunate! I never would have thought something like that could happen to you." Then suddenly, with the next breath of wind, he was gone. A little later, the leaf was blown into the barn where the horse was stabled. "Mr. Horse," he called out, "look what has happened to me. What have I ever done to deserve this?" The horse looked at him with pity and said, "I will always remember your lovely shade." Then the leaf was picked up again and blown off into the distance. For days he was blown around the surrounding country, never landing more than a few minutes. Each day he grew weaker and weaker and lost more of what little color he had left. Then one day he landed in a puddle on a little trail through the woods. He lay there mourning the loss of his short life. Then he looked up and saw the eagle flying overhead. "Oh, eagle," he called out, "look at me. Aren't you shocked to see me now?" The eagle flew down and landed on the ground near the leaf. He looked at him for a moment and sighed. "Oh, little leaf," he said, You never understood, did you? Understood what? Why, you're a leaf. Of course you fell off your tree. That happens every year. But didn't you see what a wonderful leaf I was? Surely I didn't deserve an end like this. Of course I saw. But I knew that you were beautiful, not because of anything you had done, but because of the tree where you grew. It was the tree that provided you with life, and it is the tree which has now taken that away. You were only a small part of its beauty. If only you had known that, you would have praised the tree, not yourself. And with that, the eagle flapped its wings and flew away.